I would just like to say the fact that billionaires are flying themselves to space is pretty fucking crazy.
It's funny. Every now when something happens, I'm like, that took a long time. They always
It's
had the
wild.
money. It's a matter of time before it's a bus trip.
And then when Amanda and Kristen find a 6-minute clip of the team meeting, or whatever 6-minute clip of you and I offline, that just needs to become an episode. What we've established over the last 2 or 3 weeks, and that is that all of this content comes from the top down and then finds its way into its specific channel or series. Nice, Kristen. Is that OJ or milk? Tell me that's not milk.
It's just water, actually.
That's awesome. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Ryan, you can't see right now, but I literally, Kristen just chugged a quarter gallon of what looked like a milk carton.
Just to let you in, I guess, what we're looking at a little bit, or what we see, Corey and Amanda. When I've had, I used LinkedIn Premium for the last month because it kind of gives you some insight of people who are looking at your profile. And it's really funny to see how many people like scroll here, like stuff, will engage, but not post their own content. And I actually have had a big increase in asset managers checking out my profile.
That's good.
Whatever the hashtag, the content itself, I think engaging with asset managers is the biggest thing, because other asset managers will see that in the same way that we're engaging with and stuff like that, and other financial advisors see, and they wonder how ingrained we are with everybody. Same thing when it comes to, and I just said some random comment like, about the guy who shared an article about the small cap. Like, I actually read his article and then posted little things like that. I think really helps. And I was just checking that out this morning, so it's interesting.
I think any engagement to senior level people on the asset management, like any engagement you give back to them, is a tremendous value add, because no one engages in their stuff because they're not very good at it.
And the other thing I realize is I forgot that one of the powers that we'll have is that we're ingrained in the advisor community, and that shows up without us even having to say it, I believe, just based on especially the show and all that stuff. And that's why I think, bringing it back and doing those things, everything we do, I think all adds together. But
yeah, they don't know that though. That's, I don't expect them to know that, but I do think that an SVP and an asset manager who posts something that's not very entertaining or engaging, and you engaging with it, goes a long way, because no one else wants to engage with it.
Okay.
I mean, what do you think about the brand page? What do you guys think? Kristen, Amanda, like, I don't know. You guys tell me. I don't think it's
I like
anything
those
special.
bites. I like those bites clips.
Yeah.
Like, if you asked me, when I go on our YouTube, it's amazing. Like a bite, it's all of us. Corey asks the question, it zooms in, and then hits to what was it? One of the PhD, Kelly. I thought that's awesome. Like, I think that kind of stuff should just be thrown in the middle of these graphics, which I think we're already doing. But keeping that up, at least, I don't know. I don't want to overdo it. The problem is we have so many guests, so I think we can spread it out. I think we have enough content. I don't know a cadence. Do you, like, one person a day, one video a day? Is that too much? And then a graphic? Or if we did a graphic, do we not need a video? How do you feel?
I think 3 videos a week is the rhythm, and then I think mixing in text and graphics around that is smart.
Okay, I like that too.
I do love, Amanda, stick with that. What you're doing, that stretching, because that is so much better than watching 3 little, shitty webcams.
Especially in the adjustment when it like it shows the question and presents her for the video. I thought, like, that's perfect.
Yep. The bites are great. The thumbnails are great. I think, I don't know how, Kristen, are you finding these? Amanda, are you curious? Like, how's this working?
For the advisor to advisor, I'm going through finding the punches and then making the videos and everything.
Good. We talked yesterday offline, Amanda and I, about this. Is it easier for you, as the one going through the video, just to find this stuff and have your creative visual idea around it and do it on your own.
Yeah, it is. It's helpful. Like if we were like getting a lot of content at once, it'd be helpful for someone else to go through it first, but it's not always as beneficial. Especially because when you take out clips, you don't always get the context around the clip. So yeah.
I'm with you. I mean, if Ryan or Kristen were picking out clips and said, Corey, at 112 to 224, grab it, I would go in and rewatch the whole thing anyways and be like, so I get it.
Would my edit be a little bit different than the time frame? Yeah, but maybe it at least gives you a basis to feed off of. I'm not sure, but either way, I understand that. Same thing you said at the beginning, Corey. It's almost like it's easier for somebody to start a project and keep going, especially when you're building off of it, editing and all that stuff. The same as editing websites and all that shit. The only thing I want to say too is if I'm thinking of generating activities, I do want to make sure Amanda stays tight to important content that we think is sharing and going. So we have 2 of these meetings per week. We'll have endless content, but what we don't have is endless hours from Amanda to edit.
I agree.
So I want to make sure that you're looking at each of these meetings and maybe we pick whether one that's better or something like that, and keep most of your time on like things that we, again, revenue generating to me would be guests, because we get to tag them, building relationships, putting cool videos on there, the bites. And actually these are still cool too, but this is something I would want to do when we have full-fledged time, especially if you're going to be digging into websites. So I don't know where that puts this on the radar. I still want to keep doing it, but figured I would mention that.
So let's dig in on that. Like on Amanda's plate, on Kristen's plate, what do we want them to be doing right now?
It's a good question. What do you think?
Well, I can just say that the only reason that this initial video is taking me longer is because I've been developing the intros and the outro, and then I'm still working on finishing the thumbnail now. And it's basically just me curating a theme for these videos, so I can keep, it's like a template basically. So I've just been working on the template, and so after that, then it'll go a lot faster.
Agreed.
Same with the advisor to advisor stuff. It's been going a lot faster because I've managed to like figure out what I'm doing each time.
Did you, I gave you some feedback on that intro. Run that longer. That's a cool beat.
Yeah.
Do we own that beat, or are we going to get flagged when we put that on YouTube?
It was on Canva, so I'm assuming it's free reign, but I can check that, or I can put a different song on it. It was literally just in the template that I used.
I like it. I'm willing to try it, but YouTube will tell us within 20 seconds of uploading.
Yeah.
Well, we had what was it, J. Cole or something beat
for
the advisor to advisor. So they kept kicking it out of other countries. They kept knocking it out of places, but we kept getting through for some reason. So
yeah,
it's interesting. So anyway, obviously that's why we're careful with that stuff. Want to make sure that shit gets seen.
Ryan, you need to start figuring out a way to fucking library those videos you're creating. And I'm not kidding. Like that's one for your brand, two for the growth of this business. Like you got to start figuring YouTube? Out. Yeah. That stuff disappears. It's if you don't watch that video this morning or catch it tonight, it's gone. And no one's scrolling through your feed to watch it ever again. So whether you want to use the MCO channel and put it on there as a playlist, Ryan's Bites, cool, or Ryan's Clips, but that stuff needs to be in a library.
It's actually not a bad idea. Do you think we should do that? Or obviously, I mean, we're pretty big on personal brand. I'd imagine you'd think it should just be my personal YouTube, but is that worth it?
If you're asking me, I would selfishly do it myself so that you own the IP. But obviously, it just needs to be somewhere that it can be recalled. I mean, there's videos I'm going to use for me and MCO because I think the thing, we had that off script meeting after our last meeting on Thursday, which turned into basically its own podcast, that I'll take that video and use for Corey Keating, and then I'll take that video and put it on MCO, and they'll live in both places. That's just the VaynerMedia way, right? Gary's going to use the same thing that the corporate brand's going to use.
Yeah, so I guess it could almost be both, where you're like putting up the bytes where it says a channel. I mean, you could have some for
Sure,
you. It could say Corey Stoltz, Ryan Stoltz,
sure.
similar to the. Mm.
My whole point is that video you hit this morning was 3 minutes and it was really good. And on Thursday, no one will ever be able to find that ever again.
Sad.
Because we could take bites from these meetings.
I wish it
hey
had.
guys,
I wish it had a purpose. I really think one of the things that, and I this isn't just from a branding perspective. I obviously want to attach it to our name and say that, but like I look at it like also like it's not the Refine Labs podcast. You know, they do the current state of demand gen. Is there something we can talk about or something we can label ourselves as that you think isn't hokey?
we already have, and it's failed. It's been the Advisor to Advisor show, and no one listens to it. It just needs to be. Point. It just needs to be MCO audio, and then when Amanda and Kristen find a 6-minute clip of the team meeting, or whatever 6-minute clip of you and I offline, that just needs to become an episode.
Yeah, I guess I just feel like we're putting shit places, which I think is good and you need to, but I don't know. It's just, I guess repurposing content is a strategy in itself. I'm just wondering if we can.
What do you mean we're putting shit places? Let's expand. We're a media company. That's what this is. Like, yeah. So we're putting stuff in different channels. It's ESPN 1, ESPN 2, ESPN 3, ESPN Deportes, ESPN News. Like, it's all the same shit. It's all sports.
Okay. I just want people to watch it or listen to it. I don't know how to grow the podcast. Hey, there's two things. Yeah, go ahead.
Wouldn't you think they'd be more interested in listening to authentic content than the show, which no one listens to anyways?
Yeah, you'd think. I definitely think there was something wrong with just repurposing the show, because watching it live and then listening in the background, just unless it had a really catchy title and gave people a chance, it was just too much. It was too slow of content. People had to get dragged through, and I imagine that's probably why it never grew. So I think we could do a better job of keeping edited content on there that makes it a little bit better. But yeah, I agree.
No, man, like Willie Geist takes the Sunday news on NBC and puts it on a podcast, and it probably needs video to accompany it, but they don't have that. But they're just doing, I don't know. I don't want to overthink it. Let's
do it. What do you think it should be? MCO audio? I think MCO audio experience.
Yeah, whatever. I really could care less. I think it's just, I don't even need this to become something that takes away from our time right now. This is just something to put on the plate. So if we don't have time to do it, we don't have time to do it. I don't think there's a lot of ears there anyways right now, but.
Yeah. And obviously, Kristen, you don't have to go back and record all the intros and stuff like that from all past episodes. It would just be something that we pick up from here on out. Yeah. Would that be confusing?
What? Re-releasing episodes?
This is the Advisor to Advisor podcast, and it's called the MCO Audio Experience.
Yeah, but who gives a shit what people listened to in the past? They jump on now and it's, what's up, guys? It's Kristen. Just want to give everybody a heads up. We've renamed the show. Here's what it's going to be about. Here's a little bit of what we're going to include with it. It's still going to include when Corey and Ryan do the Advisor to Advisor show, but it's also going to include some audio when we've got team meetings, when we've got offline meetings, when we're meeting with clients. Obviously, stuff that is private will remain private, but we'll share with you what we can. We hope you enjoy.
Okay.
Yeah. Call it the reintroduction.
Yeah. And then I guess just stick with MCO audio for now until we think of something.
This is why these guys all struggle out there. I get a DM. How do I grow my podcast? I'm like, dude, you've niched this podcast so narrow, and now you run out of people to talk to. You're like, you only want to talk to employees of,
right.
Pepsi. Like,
right.
It's too narrow at this point, and now you can't grow it. But you've got some really good stuff that you want to share about something else, but you feel like it doesn't fit into the mold. So now you don't know what to do with it.
Sort of what happened to the show and guests, I feel like, as we started reaching for people because we were like exhausted the equity on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I agree.
Instead of it, and that's why I was trying to make it more of a marketing show, but obviously I want to still speak to certain people. But
I'm going to go content rhythm, and this is going to point to Kristen and Amanda. I want to make sure you guys are comfortable with what we've established over the last 2 or 3 weeks, and that is that all of this content comes from the top down and then finds its way into its specific channel or series. And I think, Amanda, you started to realize that that's what we're attempting to do here with these different outros or playlists or these things that we're attempting. Does that feel like it's getting less overwhelming, or that as time goes on, that will play itself out and make more sense? Okay. Kristen, the same for you. So I think, we will have this series of MCO Advisor team meetings. We'll find a couple of clips here and there, put those into their series. I also, want to, Ryan and I did that video that was after a team meeting that, Amanda, I'm going to want you to chase down and find. And I want to turn that into an advisor to advisor episode. So typically we film those things live. I'm just going to have you post produce that. So it's streamable, but or shareable. It just won't be live.
Corey, do you want to get going?
Yeah. Where we, MCO team meetings, have we kind of dried out after having that one clip? Guys.
Yeah, I haven't had the chance to go back and look at the other clips that that Kristen and I went through. I think because Kristen sent you the times for all of the other ones and you said you would look through them.
Oh, that's right. So that falls on me. All right. My apologies.
Yeah,
that was from
yeah,
just that one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to do that because I want those to be more consistent if they can be. And the rationale behind that is I think that's what people actually want to watch. I mean, not that our numbers can necessarily prove that, but the last 9 videos posted, the MCO team meeting has double the views of most of the stuff. And that's, it's not a sample size that I could really bank on. But the point is, I think that's actually the stuff that people care about is this behind the scenes stuff. So I'd like to curate as much of it as we can. So yeah, I will go
even
back
even if just for a test. I was going to say, I remember saying we should stick to the guest and we can tag them, but we played that game out pretty hard in terms of doing the show. And I think that's why we felt us flatline. I think it's just different sharing team meetings. Nobody else is doing that. So I think that'll be a fun piece of content just for the sake of that, just to see how it performs, especially coming from the brand page. That's a really nice, consistent piece of content that can continuously go there once or twice a week.
Well, let's play that out. It's a great point. I mean, let's just use ourselves as the proxy, which I love doing. How interested are you in watching a 3-minute clip of someone you respect, but on an interview? I don't know. The answer to that is
everybody's talked to each other at this point.
Scale it up. Think of a celebrity. Even I follow basketball. I don't necessarily want to watch my favorite players be interviewed by ESPN, but shit, you throw a camera in their kitchen, I'm following that around all day long. So we're nosy.
Yeah. Watching Kevin Durant cook. I agree.
Yeah. What has he got?
So anyway, push with that. I agree. At least for the sake of testing. So let's look at those clips, Corey, so we can give them a little bit more direction, I guess, on that.
I will do that. I will look at the clips.
Making sure we're figuring these out. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I do think those in the bite sizes will run for a little while.
But that's a MCO website. So what happened? I went to cancel Kajabi just to see what it looked like. And a pop-up came and said that we get a free month. So we were rushing to do the website. And not like it necessarily, I guess, matters to you guys as much as Corey, but the deadline now is August 17th instead of last Saturday or last Sunday. So we were supposed to be canceling that just so it didn't hit or charge us again, but that doesn't matter. So we'll still be working on the website a little bit. I don't know if you find that to be a cleaner, more open opportunity to throw Amanda in it all, or if you think because it's almost done, we just finish it. I'll let you make that call, Corey. But we have a whole nother month to mess around with that now. Now, with that said, do you think it's worth it to update the wording on the Kajabi website? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no, I don't.
No.
I don't know. We're luckily in a lull of business right now. It's just July.
But maybe it's a lull because we're making content to an audience that can't check up on us properly.
I know. I hear you there. I don't know the answer then. I don't have a proper answer, because you're right. I would like any eyeballs that come in to see that we do offer services for them.
I'm going to just copy that page and try to make it similar to how you made it and see if we can't add something in that's one day's work that doesn't fix the problem. We only change the work with us page, which adds in the bottom scroll of asset managers, and just we have to figure out that pricing anyway. So figure out a way to deliver that, and I'll think about it and send it back to you.
So you guys know, just a little context, Ryan and I are talking about is the website speaks only to financial advisors really right now. And much of our business, where we see the opportunity, where we're having a lot of conversations, is with the wholesale firms, the people who actually sell products to the asset or to the financial advisors. So we need to make sure that the website speaks to both sides of the business, not just the one.
And it makes it confusing as shit because we're trying to figure out pricing for both. So it's weird for one person to get one pricing and specific services on a website. It'd be much cleaner if it's just like, this is what you get. Like, this is the service, this is the price. But when we're talking to two different people, that's what's been messing us around. So if you see us have random conversations about websites and stuff, that's where they're coming from. For Kristen, one thing I would like is when you're looking at this schedule, like, and you have control of the members and how often we're meeting them, also look in like every 2 weeks and maybe just give me a running list of for marketing check-ins. I want to make sure I'm touching base with everybody. And that's something where I'm going to be sending a video to each person. And I don't know if I'll end up doing it monthly. I just want to try it for every 2 weeks. Something tells me that's probably going to be too fast. But what do you think? Does that seem too fast?
As long as you have something to say, I don't think that you can judge it. If you have something to say.
I'm just thinking like somebody goes on vacation, maybe it's just, let's just start every 2 weeks and I'll make the call whether I check in with them or not. Because if I look back and they had like one post, there's nothing for me to say. I'm not going to shoot something out. And maybe that just answers my question that I'll do this once a month.
Or maybe you say, hey, I'm just touching base. I see that you haven't had a lot of activity. If there's anything we can do to help you generate some ideas.
Yeah, maybe that is just right. Maybe it's just on the touch point that I'm always, I don't know, that we're always here. I guess I just I really wanted to add something that I felt like was value add and not like just something like the email where I'm afraid they're not watching the bomb anymore.
I know, but that is value add because it hits their inbox. They're like, they reply and they're like, you're so right. I've been buried. Like, do you have any idea about how to get through this problem? I don't know. They're
yeah. Well, let's at least try it for every 2 weeks. So whenever, I guess, in the middle of everybody's monthly meetings, or even if I'm meeting them every 2 weeks, maybe you just match it counter to their schedule so that it's the touch point in between the meetings, and then just maybe a list of people of when their meeting is and then when those check-ins should be. And then I can keep that running list, however that's easiest for you, I guess in Dropbox or Google Docs or something. And I can look at it and just make sure I'm just making sure I'm doing that. The CRM will take over all this stuff. One of the things I'm thinking, Corey, is that when the website's done, I kind of would like somebody else to join. I don't think it really matters that much, but I think we should get on Infusionsoft, like I kept talking about. So we have a CRM and start collecting names. And we have detailed notes, Red Rock in there. I think we can connect the video to it. You can tag them asset manager appropriately. So you could segment people and blast one email to say we're doing an event or something. We can blast it to asset managers. It helps us segment. We can add the company and individuals in there. It gives you a lot of detail that's upfront work. And I think Kristen would basically run in there. That's how I was running basically the small business where I was for a couple of years before we moved to something else.
As long as it's in line with where we're going and some of the hurdles we have to take care of are taken care of, I'm all on board.
Have you been still using Kajabi, Kristen, for the weekly emails? You can keep doing it. We'll be forced to switch somewhere. So I don't know if I'll just make that switch to Infusionsoft so that you can send an email from there. But either way, it'll be from there, or we won't have to worry about till August for next 4 newsletters, but eventually it'll have to come from there, or we'll just stick with MailChimp. And I guess we'll have to decide if we should keep MailChimp. That's what I'm wondering. I kind of just want someplace to do it all at once. I feel like we just have a lot of random stupid programs, and it's confusing me. So I kind of just want one that kind of does everything.
Why don't we wait till we get our site up and running and see what plugins play best?
I am, because again, I'm not sure. It does a lot. I'm not sure. I just want to make sure we need it, you know?
Yep. Mhm.
Okay. So one of the things is we were talking about doing a YouTube channel for me. Kristen, just add me to like have as a sleeve on the MCO channel as whatever. I don't know what to call it yet. Ryan's thoughts. I don't know, something. You can put it whatever you want for now, and I'm sure I'll look at it and change it later. But just putting up my videos and everything that's in that Dropbox folder, and I guess Amanda, then we'd also put you on the thumbnails to those videos, assuming they should be up there. Correct, Corey? It should all be dressed up and everything. So I don't know if you necessarily need to do like an intro and outro for me, if you have to go that far, but at least a thumbnail that sits on the front that dresses it up, then people can go in. The other thing I'll say is those videos look probably proper for LinkedIn and probably not for YouTube. Should those raw videos be re-edited anyway, Corey? Or does those titles not matter?
You mean the ones that have the subtitles on them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't put those on YouTube. But she has the raw video of that because she had to put it through subtitles, so it's in the same folder.
Yeah, so I guess, but is there anything we should do to that video, or just put the raw video up with a thumbnail?
I mean, obviously adding production value to it doesn't hurt. It's just how much do you want to get in the way of getting the video up? Do you want to make that a long-term thing where you're like, you know, Amanda, you should come up with an intro and outro and a thumbnail and then apply it to all these, and then Kristen go to town.
Yeah, I think so. No, you say no because they can do their own captions and stuff on YouTube easy enough that you don't need to do that there.
You can't, like, that game ended years ago. You
Okay.
can't, if you put captions on YouTube, they overlay it and then the whole thing's,
I gotcha.
You can't read anything. Yeah.
So I'll just take the original video that wasn't edited for LinkedIn with like the title and subtitles. You can keep the titles the same when you're putting them on YouTube and typing in your descriptions in the same way you normally would. And then Amanda, whatever she puts up, you can put it at the bottom of your list, but would throw in some thumbnails to those videos. I'm guessing there's probably 8 videos, Kristen. I'm not sure, 8 to 10, something like there. But so I don't know how crazy it will be. And I know that'll put you in another, you got to do 10 thumbnails in a row, Amanda, but
what videos are we talking about?
this will be videos that I've been putting on LinkedIn that we're going to put on YouTube on our MCO channel, where it'll just say like my name and then be my videos under there specifically, instead of me having my own personal YouTube.
Okay.
Kristen's going to have to coordinate this because Amanda's not going to know where the bodies are buried here. She's
yeah,
gonna, so
yeah.
Kristen
You don't know the videos and all that stuff, and you'll see. And either when you know, Kristen, I guess you would have to look before you start posting, correct? Like you'd want to look at those videos to see. You'd make the thumbnail beforehand because it would all go up at the same time.
Yeah.
I guess you would have access to my folder. It should be in videos. If you're looking in Dropbox, it's videos, and then I don't actually know what it's called. I'm going to it now. I just know it starts in videos.
Is it Ryan solo videos?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And then you'll see a bunch of curated videos as well as the regular videos in there that I uploaded.
As the team establishes this back of the house thing, Amanda and Corey, and this front of the house thing, is this what we should come to expect? Is that the front of the house folders give me a headache and are a disaster?
Yeah. Now the only thing I'll say is I'm guessing, Kristen, that you uploaded a file to Subtitle and then uploaded the completed one here. What may be easier is if you upload your completed edits that in this folder as well, because I'm guessing you have that file, but it's not here because that's the middle piece that's missing. So make sure Amanda gets to see that so she knows what thumbnails to put on there. And it's not going to be anything crazy. I think Corey's asked me to like take pictures of myself doing different shit so like you can have something. So let me know, Amanda, if that's what you need, and I'll throw in some pictures in there too.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be really helpful because right now we only have, I think, one picture of you that I've been using
Yeah.
on everything. So yeah.
When you're taking those pictures, can you copy them out of videos, or is it like 1,000 times easier for me to send you pictures?
It's
'Cause
times 1,000 easier for you to take a picture of yourself with some nice light, because the videos, they're all going to look dingy like this.
okay. All right. I'll try to do that
Yeah,
afterwards.
but regardless, I can edit a picture if I need to. So if you want to just, if I can take it from a video, that's fine too. So yeah.
No,
The best thing
I'll
you can do, Ryan, is when you're out with the kids or something, is give yourself a, seriously.
it's hard for me to do that. I don't know why it shouldn't be, but I will. I'll do it for the team. So I'll send you some some selfie shots, as well as. Do you think it should go in that same folder? Should it be different? What would be easiest? Should my world stay there?
Corey's are all in the social media folder. So I think keeping it in there would be helpful.
Okay. I always end up in the same folder, so I don't care how I get there. It's obviously as long as I know how, and I'll make sure it's all there. If it's just as easy, maybe we move the Ryan solo videos into the social media folder. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
I mean, that's where Corey keeps all of his thumbnails and stuff. So
Let me think it through, because we might want to. You may want to, if you merge them, it may create its own headache. So let's just think it through. For next steps on this, I think we've got to put Kristen in charge of saying, here's 3 videos that we should start with, so that it's not just, all right, Amanda, there's a folder full of Ryan's stuff. Go.
Yeah. Really, I think if you had the videos by itself, that's what I was saying, in the same folder, it may be confusing. I don't know if you create another, I don't know, I don't want to make it too confusing per project to make another folder, but you just had that place where all the clean videos were. So Amanda knew she could grab from all of those rather than just seeing the curated, the others, and then Kristen's video. So however you guys want to display that, or, communicate it, whatever's easiest.
Why don't we say this time next week, you guys have 3 of these things ready to go up there. So for Thursday next week, there's 3 Ryan videos on Ryan's playlist with 3 thumbnails that Kristen and Amanda have coordinated together to do this. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a specific video that I like the most of what I would say. Maybe I'll scroll through my page and see what.
Let these guys get started, and then the 4th video can be your most favorite video. Like, it won't even matter, but getting their feet wet will be what's important.
Do you guys think you have enough direction to start that? I think we're figuring out the folders and the organization, but I think the idea you guys understand, right? Okay. Let's see. I obviously will do my best. I'm not good at using folders, but wherever it ends up, just somebody keep in touch with me, because I'll make sure I'm always putting it in that same folder. If it does change, I'm guessing my solo videos may move, but I know this gets confusing because it's like my thumbnails. It's also for the MCO page. Do thumbnails stay together, or does it just go all under Ryan? That's why I have trouble with folders. So however you guys are already navigating, just let me know, and I'll do my best to obviously stay organized. And I'm not going to lie, Amanda, part of the thing I like about constantly doing these thumbnails, as annoying as it is for you, is, it's reps and like training that you get to do, because, I'm hoping that we're a lot more client facing with some of this editing. So as much as it is annoying, I like that the problems are occurring with us and not with other people, where it's like, I don't know what to do with the thumbnail. It'd be nice when we have solutions for everybody else's issue, where it's like, hey, you had this one picture. Can you take 5 pictures of doing this reaction for me? People are going to want very straightforward direction, I think, when it comes to social media, because it's so out of bounds for them. So having these problems and figuring these out is important right now.
Definitely.
Did you respond to Kristen? Did he say anything back?
No, he hasn't answered.
Okay. So I already talked to, and that's payroll, and I can honestly shoot you an email there too, but I know I'll always at least be in touch with stuff like this. So I don't know if I ever, have you connect to payroll directly so you can just start handling these. But he says it only shows one ACH went out. So I already told him I'd update him when we had when we had it get fixed. She wants to call. How do you feel about that, Corey? I need to make sure maybe he didn't get hit in Kajabi. Maybe that's what he's saying. Basically got hit with 2 payments, and I was trying to give him one back, but says he only got one. So I don't know why, but she wanted to call him to see.
I mean, well, it's not like she's going to steal him. I don't really
Yeah,
care.
I don't know. I
It's-
didn't know if it was weird or if I guess I should ask his permission first, although she has his information. I
Yeah,
still think
we want him to be okay with our accountant
Yeah.
calling him. We don't,
Yeah.
you know, I don't. I think that'd be weird if the assistant just called me out of the blue. I'd be like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Hey, I
Um,
have your account number or
yeah.
your credit
I
card
mean,
number.
in a
Okay.
perfect world, like that's why I really would like Kristen involved in this stuff, because in a perfect world, this stuff gets untangled with her leading the charge.
Yeah. And I guess that would just be the connection between you and they're just the accounting/payroll company that I talk to whenever there's a problem like this, because it's something that now that they're doing the billing, I guess I actually could look, but I don't because that's what they do. So maybe that's something where, a natural response as we do this. I hope it doesn't happen often, but I'm assuming it'll happen enough, which will be you being like, oh, you touching base right away. Hey, we're looking into this and I'll get right back to you once I consult with Ryan, and maybe you tag me on the email or something like that. I think that would always be a good first touch point. It keeps it in the open. You don't always have to say we're going to fix this or take care of this for you, even if you want to just leave it very broad, but at least let somebody know that they're heard, and then tag me or let me know exactly like you did. And then well after you attack it a few times, you'll realize the adorable stuff you say. And that's kind of what I was talking about before, and how to treat people and like the relationship. And I know you want to check with us, before you're touching base on stuff like that, but eventually, you'll feel more comfortable. And if you do feel comfortable responding, feel free to respond and just say, hey, Ryan, I let you know, I said this to him, and I'm checking this out with, or something like that. So I'll connect you with her so that you can at least have her name, and maybe you just tag all of us. So we're all in the loop of what's going on for issues like that. So you don't have to handle it yourself right away. Do you need anything from me in terms of website and pricing, or are you like head down today doing it and then I'll jump in after the fact?
Yeah, I'm just going to try to. I'm not. I mean, we can refine it later. I just need to get the structure set up.
Okay. Prospects. So I just wanted to talk to you real quick about the messages that you've been getting, and if like I think you reached out for long form content. Has anybody else been touching base with you? Was there anybody else we should be reaching out to, or reminding that we exist?
I think we have to figure out the thing. I'm kind of uncomfortable with it, but I mean,
why?
I just know that wholesaler world too well, and I don't know, they're not. I question the coachability of them.
Yeah, it's going to be like, which is like when I talked to that guy yesterday, I don't think he's like, he just grows businesses. I think he's very operational, and he's like, I want qualified leads, through my funnel. And I'm like, well, it takes a while. And he's like, well, I just didn't say what he wanted to hear, which is I'm going to get you more appointments. And
but you can't guarantee him that, and that's I don't know who thinks that's the way it works.
But so he didn't seem coachable. And he seemed like more like I don't know. It's kind of like I want to tell you what to do type of person. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm out on that.
Yeah,
I will not sit for an hour to be told that I'm right or wrong.
Yeah, and I'll say, like, I think it's still worth the conversation. So my guess is we had a hunch that it was not going to be a good fit. Not a good fit. Now, if he wants to jump in, I told him it should be short term, because he said he had a team member, and he was like, I think once you tell me enough, I can do some of the stuff on my own. And I was like, I believe like if you worked with us, we can help anybody with LinkedIn, but it should be for like 3 months and not multiple.
This is why inbound is so important, because they've heard our message before and they know what we're already into the third conversation.
I was already thinking that, yeah. And that's why it's like you never get bad sales calls with inbound, but you can still get a bad referral. Isn't that crazy? Like, that's a great topic, or a great video.
Great quote.
Yeah. Man, like somebody coming in through content could be stronger than somebody coming in through a referral. That's pretty nuts.
Definitely strong.
I always thought a referral as a high end all be all, but it's not really, because it's a person who's consumed your content knows more about you than the referral does.
And the referral, you don't know their frame of mind or how they think about the world.
Right. Crazy. Anyway, so prospects, like, I guess we'll jump on the phone. Friday will be tomorrow should be a cool call. I'm interested to hear what they have to say. I'm wondering if they're going to say that's too much, like we need to scale it back, or I don't know. Well, we'll see.
These calls are easy for me because it's as much as I want the business, I feel like you and I both go into it like we're naked. Like this is the way it is, guys.
Yeah.
I can't lie to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's all. Just want to make sure I'm touching on prospects. And then what else? I guess that's it. Yeah.
All right, I'll be working on the site. Holler at me. I'll be here.
Cool.
For anyone watching this, I do want to clip at the 20-minute mark, 25-minute mark. We had that good little 20 seconds about inbound leads. So we should consider using that.
Okay.
So, all right.
Cool.
Later.